in previous elections, if you hadn't really hit the scoreboard in Iowa or New Hampshire, that was kind of a wrap for you. It was kind of unspoken rule that if you didn't show like real signs of life in Iowa and New Hampshire, then there was no reason for you to continue. So things are a little bit different now because, Bernie Sanders is running. So, Stop Bernie movement is in full swing. Because as I stated, typically, if you were in 4th place or 5th place, it'd be a wrap for you. How could you raise money with no signs of actually winning? No hopes of winning, no actual trajectory to securing the nomination. Most people would not donate money for you just to be around, just to travel. They wanted to know if you could win. So this is it's understandable. It's understandable that would happen. But while there's a lot going on in the activity happening because of tomorrow's debate, because of the vote tomorrow, all right, Bernie Sanders has been having to make the case for Bernie Sanders because he's been facing a lot of, dare I say, bad weather or bad actors. Check it out.
Joe Biden says that your Democratic Socialist label would hurt down-ballot candidates. He's not the only one saying it. Vulnerable Congressman Connor Lamb in Western Pennsylvania said, quote, it would be really hard for you to win his district. Congressman Anthony Brindisi of New York says your platform is not a winning message. Congressman Bear of California says you would probably put the House majority in jeopardy. What's your response to these Democrats who are worried that you're going to hurt them in more moderate districts?
Well, the truth is that our agenda is precisely the agenda that the overwhelming majority of the American people want. We're going to grow the voter turnout. In Iowa, where the turnout was not as high as I wanted it to be, among young people, people under 29 years of age, we increased the voter turnout by some 33%. It's a huge voter turnout. And we do that all over the country. I think you're going to see incredible gains for down-ballot Democrats. Look, at the end of the day, the American people want to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. They want to make public colleges and universities tuition-free and cancel student debt by a modest tax on Wall Street speculation. The American people understand health care is a human right, not a privilege. The function of health care is not to make $100 billion for the drug companies and the insurance companies. The American people understand we have got to deal with the existential threat of climate change. Our agenda is the agenda of working class and middle class Americans. They want us to take on corporate interest and the greed of the drug companies and the insurance companies.
You talk a lot on the campaign trail about income inequality, how the top 1% of Americans possess more wealth than the bottom 90% of Americans all combined.
Yep.
Our investigative K-File team found that early in your political career, way back in 1974, you said that it should be illegal to earn more money than someone could spend in his or her lifetime. You proposed a maximum wage cap on the highest earners.
What year was that?
1970.
What year was that?
It was 45 years ago.
Look, Jake, in all due respect, that was 7 years before I was alive. Did you go back to my 3rd grade essay when I was in PS 197 about what I said?
You were a grown
what
man
I said,
in your
40
30s.
or 50. Yeah, but that was 50 years ago. Let's talk about my mayor's record, where I was a transformative mayor, reelected 3 times. We could go back to things that I said in the 70s. I don't think it's productive. I've been a senator for 16 years, a congressman. A senator for 14 years, a congressman for 16 years. But here's the bottom line. This is what I do believe. When you have 3 people who own more wealth than the bottom half of America, when half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck, when 500,000 Americans are sleeping out on the street, yes, the rich have got to pay and the large corporations have got to pay their fair share of taxes. We will raise taxes very substantially on billionaires. No apologies for that.
But you do not favor a wage cap as you once proposed. That's the only question.
50 years ago, look, what I just said is when you have massive levels of income and wealth inequality. By the way, in the last 3 years under Trump, the billionaire class has seen an hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars increase in their wealth. The average American worker has seen less than a 1% increase in real wages last year. All right, that's the issue that we got to deal with right now. We need an economy that works for working people, not just for the billionaire class, which is what we have under Trump's economy.
It's never surprising. It happens all the time, but you got to ask yourself, why don't they ever follow up and ask him about the important stuff he talks about? Like when he talks about the income inequality. There's no follow-up questions on that shit because they know where it's going to lead. It's going to lead right to their own backyards, Johnson. They never ask about the minimum wage being raised to a more livable wage. Of course, we like it higher than that. I had a conversation with Arami Oso Frimpong of the Funky Academic. We were talking about $22 an hour. But hey, 15, that's the start. But they never want to go further on these issues, do they? They don't want to go further on anything that actually impacts the life of working day people, hardworking people, people struggling, people just keeping the roof overhead. But no, they want to talk about this nonsense. Man, gosh, like Jake, I looked at his face at one moment. It seemed like he wanted to laugh at how stupid it sounded to talk about something 45 years old that he said in some paper or something, and not actually focus on, like, what he's been doing in office. Like, I mean, he's been in office for 30 years. You got a lot of material. They said it was wrong when I talked about Kamala Harris, what she did 10 years ago. They try to deflect when we bring up Amy Klobuchar's record from 7 years ago. But you want to go back 40 years on Bernie Sanders? Something he said, not something he did. I mean, Amy Klobuchar oversaw the jailing, railroading of a 16-year-old child, punishing him as an adult for a crime they had no evidence that he committed, no DNA, nothing, no murder weapon. But we don't have that conversation on the CNN show, will we, Jake Tapper, on the State of the Union? But we will bring up something that Bernie said 40 years ago and try to make that a talking point. Oh, come on, man. Like we could do better. We could do better. And another thing, guys, this socialist label thing they want to hit Bernie with, I want you to know that they've already been using it. They make it sound like this is something that only Donald Trump would use, and it's going to happen in the general, and it's going to sneak up on Bernie, sneak up on him. They were using that in Iowa. There were a lot of attack ads being run in Iowa by PACs for Buttigieg and for Joe Biden. All of them labeling Bernie Sanders a socialist. And you saw how that worked out for him, don't you? He won Iowa and he's about to go win New Hampshire. That's how damaging the socialist label is. Oh, Democratic Socialist, Johnson. Just to give you more of a clear understanding of what I'm talking about, check out the polling for New Hampshire. It's a thing of beauty. New Hampshire primary poll, February 7th through the 8th, 2020. Very likely Democratic primary voters. You see Sanders in the lead with 30%, distantly followed by Buttigieg, Klobuchar, Warren, Biden, Yang, Gabbard, Steyer, Patrick, Bennett, and someone else. Jesus, Bennett's got 0. Someone else has 3. Who's someone else? I wouldn't mind being someone else. Okay. So there you go. There goes the separation. Margin of error is 4.3%. Okay? Moving on. Here we go, the trajectory, all right? The primary tracking poll, day 1 through 7. As you can see here, Bernie Sanders is in the blue, guys. Okay? He actually started off on Sunday at 29%, ended up a point higher at 30. Okay? So ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Between 1 point, though, we're talking a 1 to 3 point ebb and flow. 29 to 32, 32, 31, 32, 31, 30. Okay? Look at Buttigieg. Buttigieg here. No, I'm sorry. Yellow. Buttigieg, yeah, the yellow. I'm right. Buttigieg. He went up, he went up, he went up, he went up, he went down, he went down, he went up, down to 20. Okay, so he started off where he was surging, and something happened. He had a 4-point snap. I wonder what that was. Oh, I got a feeling I know what it was. Lying about Iowa. Maybe that'll do it. Who's doing well? Well, Klobuchar. Klobuchar, as you can see here, started off at 8%. She got a bump from the debates. Sits at 13. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden is sitting at 11% with Warren a point above him at 12. One last poll. Most important poll, I think. New Hampshire Democratic primary voters, who do you expect to be the Democratic nominee? Hold on to your biscuits, Grandma. That dog can hunt. Look at that right there. We got Bernie Sanders with 44%. 44% likely to win the whole thing. That's right. Not just win New Hampshire. They think he's going to win the whole thing. What's most damning in this whole equation is look at Joe Biden. They used to feel that way about Joe Biden until like really recently. That's what we call tanking. That's tanking right there, baby. All right. So make no mistake about it. They'll try to saddle Bernie Sanders with these labels. But what really matters is that the people, the voters. Bernie Sanders is resonating with voters. He didn't have to resonate with cable news spokesmodels for elites, which is basically what our cable news is. There was a time when it'd be like a news guy would be somebody like me, Birdie, barely kind of getting by, like making it happen, doing it for the love of the game, doing it for the love of the news, doing it for a cause, never looking to really make a whole lot of money, just enough to get by and be able to take care of your family. But you believed in something a little bit more, something that you were pursuing, like truth, honest, justice. You enjoy telling a good story and unveiling truth for the masses. But something has happened in news. Something's happened to it over the last, I don't know, ever since it became a thing where it's all about profit, which has something to do with Bill Clinton, just ironically. But the point is that now we got these spokesmodels, man, whose attention, their focus, their objective is to just do what their bosses want them to do. No more of the scruffy-hatted reporter or the knock them down, drag them out lady who's trying to chase down the story at great sacrifice and great peril to her own safety. None of that stuff. This ain't a movie. In real life, what we have now in 2020 are a bunch of paid-off suits, empty suits, sitting on news desks, telling us what they think, what they were told to tell us, which doesn't help us. So we're going to see what's going to happen in New Hampshire. I feel very positive about it. You see how the people of New Hampshire are thinking right now, and that's all that really matters. Also note this, Bernie won New Hampshire very handily in 2016.